Welcome to the ShowMetrics demo video showing how to include spot tags for sensors and scanners into booth prototypes so that they can be rapidly deployed and predefined booth plot areas used with the map data tool shown in an earlier video. So without further ado, we'll get started. So we see here I have a yellow and black checked area which I'm going to use for the placement of booth sensors and scanners. So the idea here is I already have a booth built and the whole booth has been linked already and it's all ready to go, and it just needs the adding of scanners and sensors. So first I need to define an area that's going to be a temporary non-booth. So we're going to call this booth 999. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and into the ShowMetrics web tool and define a booth 999. So we go to booth definitions. Here's the booths we set up in the earlier demo showing how to use the map data tool. So now we're going to add a booth and we're just going to give it number 999 and we're going to call it temp booth for registering of sensors and scanners. Okay, it's a big long area, and the rest of it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to hit add booths. Now I have booth 999. So now I'm going to go ahead and go into the tool, and I'm going to change its booth number to 999, and I'm going to use a 10 by 10 build area because all of the booths that I'm working with have a maximum size of 7 by 7, so it gives me plenty of space. If you had a booth that was going to be larger than 10 by 10, you'd want your sensor hookup area to be bigger than the largest booth by just a little bit, so the largest booth would fit fully inside this area. So here we go, put 10 by 10 and 10 by 10 and save. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and use the map data tool real quick, and let me do a touch, and then we're going to do another touch. If you've seen the map data tool, you already know what happens. Now I'm going to confirm it, and it's done. Okay, so now I should look in my tool, web tool, and refresh, and there it is. It's registered. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to break out my booths. I don't need this anymore, so I'll just take it. So I'm going to break out a booth that hasn't been tagged yet. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to be using a 4-meter test booth. So let me just get it oriented right so we can see what's going on. Okay, so that's about right, and here we have 3 different viewing surfaces, and this white spot in the middle is for the scanner. So the first thing I want to do is I want to edit linked parts and leave the whole thing linked just as it was, and we'll start off with item number 1. So I go to general and its name is object. I want to give it something a little bit better that will reflect some data that comes from the booth when it's touched. So we'll call this lower square sign on pillar. Okay, that's good. And we'll put a little bracket ONE, and then we'll do number 2, and we'll say upper square on pillar 2, and then we'll do big TV set. Big TV set 3. Okay, now the scanner we'll just call scanner because there's only one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the script as we have here, and we first do the settings card. Now for scanner, we put in the scanner settings card, we drag it into the content of the scanner, and there it is. Oh well, it didn't make it. Let's try again. There it goes. And now we want to edit it. Now this booth is only 4 meters. So we're going to enter in 3 as a range, and that's going to give us a 6-meter diameter, which is going to a little overlap with the booth, but it should be okay. Enter it right there, and that's all we really need. And now I'm going to drag in the ShowMetrics Auto Scanner script, which is going to read that tool, or read the note card. It did a server handshake, and it registered. Now this shows why we did it on this booth, this fake booth, because when we go into the tool and we look, we see that there's an active DCU right here, and here's the one we just registered. There's that scanner, and there's the key. So if you registered these anywhere, they would get associated with the booths, and so they'd sort of be like hanging or non-existent data collection units. So we use this fake booth 999 to do all the registering and building, or actually placing of the spot tags in the booth builds on the first pass. Okay, so that's the scanner, and it's pretty much the same for the sensors. So I'm going to open up my sensor scripts, and I'm going to just drag my sensor settings into area 1. Did it go? No, sometimes it doesn't go. So let me 2, and just do it into 3. Or sorry, 2, then 3. And did it go? Well, you know, sometimes it's just unusual. So here we go. Oh, see, it was just lag. Let's delete the one that has the 1. And we're going to go ahead and put in the sensors into the script as well. So we'll start with 3, and it's going to register. There it goes. Big TV set just registered. We'll go ahead and do 2. We'll put in the auto sensor, and there it goes. Handshake registered. And now we'll do 1, and that's it. So now we have a booth which is all ready to go. So we have 4-meter test booth, and we're going to put with scanners. Or you could put whatever you wanted, version numbers or so forth, but we're just going to do that. And I think it saved that. No, that was the, there we go, with scanners. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and take it. Well, as soon as it lets me. There we go. Now I have a booth which is all set up and ready to go and can be placed. So that is the gist of putting in spot tags, and now we're going to go ahead and cover what it is to place a booth. So I already created some 7-meter booths which were all tagged up. Let's go ahead and look at plot 1 here in the database. We see that it has no active DCUs, and it won't let me click the DCU button because there's no active DCUs. So let's go ahead and place a booth on plot 1, which is earlier defined with the map data tool, and watch it self-register. So we're going to use one of these 7-meter booths I already created. So I throw the booth out, and you know what? It's oriented all wrong. So I want it to be more like that. Well, actually, no. I want it to be more like that. And now I'm going to go ahead and center it a little bit. And let's walk over here. Now, nothing registered yet. I just placed the booth. I get it the way I want it, which is like this. And then I register. And to register, I just do Edit, Tools, Reset Scripts and Selection. And it shows it resetting all of the sensors. So I apologize for the lag, but that's Linden Labs' fault, not mine. Okay, there it goes. All the handshakes. You see panels 4, 7, 6, 5, 3, 1, scanner, done. So, and it's all handshake now, and it's ready to go. Let's go ahead and take a look at the booth. Refresh the booth. And now we see active DCUs 9, which is the right number. Let's see, we have 8 surfaces and then the scanner. So if we go to look at the booth DCUs, we see the scanner right there, and it's live. And then we go and look at the sensors, and there they are. We have all the panels, and we see that they're all touches and their keys and where they are. So this was a successful setup. So let's go ahead and go to booth, what's a small booth? Booth 3. Booth 3, we're going to go ahead and put that new one that we just made, that 4-meter booth test. So here it goes. It's the 4-meter booth test with scanners. Just throw it out there. And I sort of want the orientation to be just like it is. I'm happy with it. So I'll just go ahead, Edit, and Tools. Well, before I do that, let's just show that there's nothing in there. Let's go look at, that was the booth 3, right? Booth 3. And there are no DCUs. So we see no active DCUs. So we're going to go ahead and Edit, Tools, Reset Scripts and Selection, and there it goes. Those are the 3 handshaking and the scanner, and we're all set. So let's go ahead and take a look in the tool, refresh, and 4 DCUs. Let's take a look, 1 scanner and 3 sensors. Perfect. So there you have it. Spot tagging and setting up booths so they can be rapidly deployed. Now these booths can be thrown out onto any booth map area, and they will automatically handshake just like you've seen here. Thanks very much, and enjoy.